Hey guys, I'm Jim Kielbaso, and I want to talk to you about why speed programs don't always work. And that might sound kind of strange coming from me because I'm always talking about speed training and how important it is and how to do it properly. But I want to share with you a big reason why it doesn't always work and why sometimes people are really disappointed in their results and why some people don't even always believe in speed training. And those two things are, one, people are often not consistent enough with speed training, and two, people don't let the process go on long enough. So let me explain. A big part of speed training is changing the mechanics that you use when you're running and accelerating and cutting and doing sport specific type movements. To change mechanics from one way that you're doing something to a new way, that's going to take a couple of weeks of consistent practice. When I say consistent, I mean at least twice a week, usually 3 to 4 times a week. It's going to take a couple of weeks of consistent practice just to break those old habits and to start to form new ones. Now at that point, a lot of people stop training because when all they're thinking about is running or accelerating, and it gets better, and they feel like, okay, I'm done, I got it. But at that point, it still requires cognitive processing to make their body do what they want to do. If you put them out on a field at that point, and we see this all the time, if you put them out on a field and they start thinking about the game, those mechanics go back out the window and they go back to their old habits. So we'll have parents come in after a couple weeks of training with us and they'll say things like, why is it that when they're in here they look so good, but out on the soccer field they kind of go back to their old ways? That's because at that point they still need their brain to tell their body what to do. After that point, they need another, oftentimes 6 to 8 weeks of somewhat consistent training to get those mechanics so ingrained in their body that it kind of bypasses their brain, and some people will call it, it develops a motor engram. E-N-G-R-A-M, an engram, which is essentially a neural pathway so developed that it doesn't take brain or cognitive processing anymore to make your body do it. Some people will call it muscle memory. It's not really muscle memory, it's more like nervous system memory, but that doesn't sound as cool as muscle memory, so you get the picture. So if you really want your speed programs to work and have meaningful results, make sure athletes are training consistently, at least 2, preferably 3 or even more 4 times a week practicing these skills, and they do this training perfectly over the course of at least 6 to 8 weeks. Sometimes it's hard to sell that kind of program on somebody, but once you explain to an athlete or to a parent the process and why you want them to do all this, it makes way more sense. In the long run, they'll have better results, they'll be happier, everybody's happier, and it actually works. So I hope that understanding why a lot of speed programs don't work helps you figure out how to make your programs work better.